Hi folks, welcome to the latest video. This one's a little bit of a short one, mainly just to give you an update on something that I've just found out about recently, and that's regarding some new initiatives for on-street charging and also some new membership type schemes for linking lots of EV charging providers together. A bit of background on how I found out about this. I just thought I'd mention that what we've done in our village locally is we've set up a little Facebook group for EV chargers, people who are interested in electric vehicles and things. Many of us on here have already got EVs. There's a real wide variety of sort of cars that we all own, but we've also got a few members who are interested and don't know enough about it. And the idea is that we can chat with each other, share ideas, experiences, offer advice to each other, and then also post interesting articles that we found. And this came from one of the guys on the Facebook group, a chap called Mike Kingham, and he sent us a link to something called Step Charge Trial. Now the Step Charge Trial stands for Subsurface Technology for Electric Pathways. And again, historically, you'll know if you've watched other videos, one of my big concerns about EVs is how people who can't charge at home are going to be able to charge all these cars by 2030. And talking about, lamppost chargers, bollards, etc., centralised rapid charging networks and things. And this really interested me because it's a trial down in Brent, down in London, and it runs until about March next year, and it's looking at some new types of charging points that have been designed with the disabled community in mind. So what you don't really want is loads of bollard chargers around everywhere when you've got people with wheelchairs and mobility scooters and things like that, blind people who are going to walk into things. So the disability group have worked with the people who are doing this trial to create these new subterranean charge points. So all you get on the surface, if you look over on the right hand side, is just a connection point which is at pavement level. And then as a resident of an area where you use these chargers, you get this thing called a lance. So you've got a cable that's at one end as normal, and then the lance locks into the charging point at the bottom. Brilliant idea. Whether it works or not, we'll wait and see when the trial finishes, but it's great to see an initiative on trying to find a solution to the pavement charging issue that I've mentioned a few times in the past. But what was also interesting when I looked at this article was it took me to, he mentioned something called Octopus Electric Juice Network. Now again, I've made no bones about the fact that I'm a big fan of Octopus and their initiatives for EV charging. Been a customer now for a while, very pleased with them. But this one's quite interesting, and that is they've now created something called the Electric Juice Network. And the idea being is this ties together loads of disparate charging providers, so that you don't have to have multiple memberships and multiple cards and things to work with all of these. Now I know going forward, everything should be can be paid for by contactless, so maybe that's not so much of an issue. But what they've done with this is you get a card just for electric juice. It covers all the providers that you see on screen, and they're adding more all the time. And then this one card will allow you just to tap and charge, and then either it will get added to your electricity bill if you're an Octopus customer, or you'll get a separate bill for Octopus just for your EV charging. So again, a really cool initiative. I've signed up for it, been an Octopus customer. It took me about 20 seconds, so I'll do a report on it when I get the card and use it for the very first time. But again, another initiative that I'm really quite pleased about to make public charging a little bit easier. But the other thing that was also very important is as you scroll down the screen on that webpage, you also get the option to submit your interest to get an on-street charger installed. Now, this is nothing to do with the STEP trial that we mentioned earlier, just as how the internet wormhole dragged me down this route. But this again is an initiative they've done with Ubitricity, and the idea being is there's enough interest in on-street charging in a particular area, then Ubitricity will get chargers installed for you. Now again, I don't know how successful this is and how much interest you have to have registered before they'll do this, but again, if you're living in an area where there's lots of people that can't charge at home, it might be something that might be worth promoting. And again, if enough people click on this and submit for their postcode area, maybe you'll suddenly end up with some on-street chargers. Again, not a problem for us living here, we can charge at home, but again, I've always got an eye on the issue for the wider charging community. Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover today. I just found both of those stories quite interesting. I thought I'd share them with you. And again, until next time, hopefully, maybe with my electric juice card, I'll speak to you then. Take care. Bye.